Hello everyone and welcome to another game I played on the Pokemon Trading Card Game Online. This is Pooka and I'm up against a player named Final Boss. So you know this one's gonna be epic. This time around I'll be using a Zebstrika Rayquaza Eelektrik deck. If you guys haven't checked out Zach Zamora's deck breakdown that we posted from the Mississippi Valley Regional Championship, go ahead and check that out, it's on our channel. I'm basically using the same deck as his. I might have changed a card here or there, but for the most part, this is the exact same deck. And I'm excited to try it out. This was live on stream. And I start off with a Blitzel and a Dynamo. No supporter, unfortunately. And I'm just going to smash kick for 10 damage and hope for the best. I see a Terrakion, so I don't really know what that means. There's a fighting energy. This can be all sorts of decks. It could be a Ho-Oh deck. It could be a Landorus Mewtwo deck. It could be a Darkrai Terrakion deck. It could be all sorts of stuff. And there is a Crushing Hammer, so I'm going to say this is a Darkrai Terrakion deck, which I don't particularly like facing. It's probably going to be an ugly game for me. So he also hit the heads on the Crushing Hammer. Pretty annoying, because I was planning on going with, a Disconnect. Now I just don't know if that's a good option. Because, in order to use Disconnect here, I'm going to have to pretty much play my hand down to 0. And Disconnect only does 40. Minus 20 for the Eviolite, which means I'm doing 20 damage. Now, if the Eviolite were not there, I would actually feel pretty confident going for this Disconnect. Because I would put him at 50 damage, and then I would be able, if I top deck the Lightning Energy, I'd be able to Lightning Crash for the knockout. But that is not the case here. And instead, I'm going to Ultra Ball away my Fire and my Switch. And I'm pretty much just going to go for Emolga. I have the Sky Arrow to give myself a free retreat cost. Then I can Dynamotor onto the Emolga. Dynamotor's an ability allows you to get a Lightning Energy from the discard pile onto a bench Pokemon. Sky Arrow Bridge gives my Blitzel free retreat. And I will go to Emolga. Call for Family. Now, the reason I'm doing this is number one is kind of survive. Terrakion's just going to plow through me in a couple turns if I don't do something. And number two is just to get more setup. And number three is to thin my deck out of cards that I would not want to draw. If I take these basic Pokemon out of my deck, it gives me higher odds to draw the cards that I would want. Things like supporters, or maybe a computer search. Those are really the two main things. A supporter or a computer search. Because if I don't draw one soon, I could very easily just get 6-0'd by this one Terrakion just rolling through all my guys. But we do see a catcher from my opponent, and then he knocks out a Dynamo using Retaliate. It is weak to fighting, so I'm going to go ahead and call for Family once again. I top decked that Blitzel there. And I'm just going to grab 2 more Dynamos with Call for Family. And again, hope for the best. This is not looking pretty. The only positive thing for me, and we got a Skyla. I was hoping he would get an N there. But the only positive thing going for me is that my opponent really hasn't gotten anything going either. Now, that one Terrakion, it's more than I have. But he hasn't played a support up to this point. Finally plays a Skyla for a Juniper, and just has to Retaliate for 10. So it's really not that great of a turn for him. Once again, unfortunately for me, I really don't have anything either. So that's kind of annoying. But what can you do? And I can Static Shock for a big 0 damage. I decided to just do it for fun. Thankfully, Emolga is resistant to fighting. That's kind of why you use it in this deck. Not only to get more Dynamos out, but also to act as kind of a buffer early on against fighting Pokemon. Mainly Landorus EX is the big one, but it can be against Terrakion as well. And I'm trying to click on my opponent's discard pile, and the game glitches again. Sometimes, for whatever reason, only seems to happen to me when I'm playing this game. It just randomly will not allow me to see my opponent's discard pile as much as I want to click on it. Sometimes it happens to my own discard pile as well. Pretty annoying, but nothing I can really do about it. I just kind of have to pay attention and try to remember how many resources he's used so far. Which, when you're playing for a long time, especially when you're playing online, it's really hard to keep track of. So, can't stress how much of a disadvantage it is to not know what's in your opponent's discard pile. So here, I know that's his second catcher, so he goes ahead and snags an Eelektrik here. And alright, I draw a Skyla, I finally get a supporter, and it's time to start the comeback trail. Now, which supporter do I grab with my Skyla? You know, I'm obviously going to grab a supporter with this. I don't know which one. Decided to go for N because I realize I'm going to be down, 3 prizes by the time I get to play that N. He will take another knockout this next turn. But, yeah, this is not looking good. I don't have any more Dynamos left in my deck, so I just grab a second Rayquaza EX with Call for Family this time. And this is a pretty ugly game, honestly. Sure, I have one Eelektrik out. I have another Dynamo out. But 2 Dynamos in the discard pile already. 0 Lightning Energy in the discard pile. And I'm going to be down 3 prizes against a fully powered Terrakion. What am I going to do in this game? I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out a way to make this somewhat a legitimate game, but I really don't know what I can do at this point. That Terrakion pretty much makes it so Zebstrika is going to be worthless in this matchup. Rayquaza, if I can ever get him powered up, he can start mowing through stuff, but really this deck does not start to function until there are 2 or 3 Eelektriks in play. Normally 3 is the number you would like. And uh-oh, he's actually going to retreat to his Darkrai. He gets free retreat thanks to Darkrai's Dark Cloak ability. Energy switch, and another energy switch. And now we are in all sorts of trouble as Night Spear starts to hit the active and a bench Pokemon. That's no good. Alright, so I actually decided to promote a Blitzel here. I think that was probably a mistake. I should just promoted a Rayquaza since it's going to get free retreat regardless. Blitzel also has free retreat, but there's a possibility I might want to use Disconnect. So I probably should have just, promoted a Rayquaza EX. Just a small little mistake. Don't think it'll end up costing me too much. But alright, here we go. Here's an N, and, alright. Not exactly the hand I was hoping for. But, it could be worse, I guess. Now, I have a Max Potion. I'm probably going to need to play that right now to heal that Dynamo. Or I could take a big risk and not play. I might need to save it for a Rayquaza. This is a tough situation. I'm going to be down a ton of prizes. I just got to think about what is my best course of action here. And I'm actually going to retreat to the Dynamo because, if my opponent gets to retreat, he's going to be able to Night Spear. Which means he's going to take 2 prizes. And there's a Crushing Hammer Heads. Gets rid of my Fire Energy, and nothing is going my way this game. This is just an abysmal game. This can happen with the Zebstrika deck pretty easily, You just, if you don't get off to a good start, your deck really is kind of fragile. This deck, the concept of it is really cool. You stall for time with Disconnect early on, and give yourself enough time to power up a big Rayquaza EX, and then you can Dragon Burst and knock out pretty much every EX in the format. But, oh no. And yep, I probably should have used Max Potion. Look at what's going to happen here. He catches up my Eelektrik, knocks it out, hits the Dynamo for 30 as well, taking a 2-prize turn. And what do I do from here, man? I am down 6 prizes to 1. He is up 5 prizes. How in the world do I come back from this? That was his 3rd catcher as well, so if he has 1 more of those, he wins the game. I really don't know what I'm supposed to do here. My only supporter is Skyla once again, so I grab an N with that Skyla. I'm just going to attach an energy to Rayquaza and pass. What else can I do, man? I just got to hope he doesn't have a catcher. If he does, I'm going to lose. No question. But, yeah, at this point, I mean, what do? I have no Dynamos in play, I have no Eeelektriks in play. He's got pretty much 2 attackers lined up. He just needs 1 more energy for each of the Terrakion and the Darkrai to start attacking me. Night Spear is going to do big amounts of damage. You know, if he just Night Spears the active and hits the Blitzel for 30, then he won't even need Catcher, he'll just need a Night Spear 2 more times, and I'm going to end up losing. So, this is just ugly no matter what. If I had to bet, I would say I would not win this game. I would bet you large amounts of money that I will not win this game. So, I'm going to continue to try to put up a fight. I will be able to Dragon Burst for a knockout this turn. And hey, there's a Super Rod. So, things aren't all bad. We're going to shuffle in 2 Dynamos and probably an Eelektrik, since there's 2 in the discard pile already. I do have that Max Potion. I purposely saved that so that I could, you know, Max Potion the heavily damaged Rayquaza there. And I decided to use a switch since it's not a card I'm really going to need anymore. If I get Catchered, I lose the game. So, no need to hold on to that switch at all. It's not going to serve any purpose. And it's not really a card I want to redraw into. I might need one, you know, to go back and forth between a Rayquaza, like switch, and then Dynamotor to a Rayquaza, and then retreat back out. So I do save 1 of those. I get a pretty nice hand, you know, after the Super Rod. I get a Dynamo and an Ultra Ball for another Dynamo. And yeah, Dragon Burst for 180. But this still is not looking good at all. You know, just if he attacks me twice, I just lose the game. But I do draw an N off of my my 2 prizes there. I do have the switch. If I could manage to get, you know, 2 Eeelektriks in play, and then a Lightning Energy, who knows? I could Dragon Burst again for 180. I could pull this off, I suppose. Still, I was down 6-1. I'm still down 3 prizes. All I have to do is take 1 more prize. Like I said, it just takes a catcher to knock out Blitzel or Dynamo, and it's pretty much game over, man. But who knows? He's just gonna send up Terrakion here, and is he gonna pass? Looks like he did. Wow. Okay, so now what do we do? I'm going to Level Ball, probably grab an Eelektrik, and oops, I accidentally grabbed a Zebstrika instead. My bad. One of the things I hate about Pokemon TCG Online is how easy it is to misclick things, and that's exactly what happened here. This one could definitely end up costing me the game. Grabbing a Zebstrika for no reason instead of an Eelektrik there. Oops. We'll just hope that it doesn't end up biting me. And hey, what do you know? I grabbed 2 Eeelektriks, so good karma goes my way. Things turn out for the best. And, I mean, man, this is actually looking great now, huh? I can computer search. I can catcher up that Darkrai. Grab 2 more prizes. I have an attachment. I have 2 Dynamotors, and this is just the strength of the Rayquaza Eelektrik deck. Once you get into gear, you can start making some big comebacks with this deck. Dragon Burst is by far the most powerful attack in the game. Just a 180, discarding 3 energy, refuel with Dynamotor. That's a ridiculous attack. And yeah, here we go. 4 prizes in 2 turns. And all of a sudden my opponent only has 1 Pokemon left in play. Huh. Could I pull this one off? I get the last switch off of my prizes even. And if he doesn't get another Pokemon, I'm going to end up winning this game. There's just nothing else to it. But alright, there is a Sableye. It's kind of a bummer. But it's okay. We can live with it. And what will my opponent do from here? I guess we also have to know what else does he have in his hand. There's all sorts of stuff to worry about. There's a gold potion. That's kind of annoying. And a pass. So something I'm worried about here is that... Alright, this is my last switch. So that means after that he could catcher up an Eelektrik and stall it there for the rest of the game. I could definitely lose to that, especially since he runs Crushing Hammers and Sableye he's got out there already. So I don't want to use that last switch unless I definitely have to. So instead of just taking the knockout here, I'm actually going to play as conservative as I can, and we will disconnect with Zebstrika for 20. Give myself a turn, next turn, to Dynamotor twice to my Rayquaza, and then I can Dragon Burst for an easy knockout. So here we go, just gonna Dynamotor onto the benched Rayquaza here. Dynamotor one more time. Got plenty of lightning energy in there. And then I'm just gonna attach a fire to the other Rayquaza. Retreat. And now we can Dragon Burst, and I think we have completed the 6-1 comeback just like that. That is the power of N, the power of Rayquaza and Eelektrik. There's really nothing he can do to prevent me from winning at this point. Unless he were to end me down to 1 and then he had a catcher. That would be the only way he could probably stall for time here. So here's a random receiver. And let's see what he gets. He gets an N. Ooh. I mean, if he gets the catcher off this, he could definitely buy some time. That one switch is my only way to move Eelektrik out of the active spot. And I would have to get kind of lucky to redraw the switch off of an N to 1. He puts down a Mewtwo. Puts an Eevee on the Sableye. And draws one card. What is he going to do from here? He could just retreat to Mewtwo and try to stall for a turn. He had to actually put the Eevee on Sableye because of Zebstrika's lightning crash. Now he could retreat for free with the Sky Arrow Bridge and just go to Mewtwo and pass. I mean attach an energy to Mewtwo. But fortunately I was able to draw lightning energy off my end to 1, so this game is over. No matter what he does, I'll be able to Dragon Burst for a knockout. He actually decides to Junk Hunt, but I mean the game is over at that point. Not sure why he didn't just try to retreat to Mewtwo at that point. But wouldn't have ended up mattering since I drew the lightning energy and the Juniper for good measure. And just like this, Rayquaza, Eelektrik, Zebstrika, the power of Zebstrika. We have come back down 5 prizes to win the game. So hope you guys enjoyed this match. I certainly did. This was a trend for this night. I made 2 6-1 comebacks, very improbably. And I don't know what else to say about it, but go Zebstrika, disconnect for the win. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Pooka from the Top Cut. I'll have more videos soon, and I'll see you next time.